Right, so the exciting news last time out was that Tiller and Will have taken on the Ardwina. She's a lovely wooden barge, but like with most wooden ships, needs a little bit of TLC. The main problem's the outer whale and the rail and cover boards, but we do have a stack of timber available to us, donated by Ardwina's previous owners, Rolf Judd. And so we contracted the Blue Mermaid, seen here on the right, to collect the stack, deliver it to Kent, and enable us to get on with the rebuild. She went up to Fallbridge, where Kev Finch kindly dragged out the timber, which had been in storage for a number of years, and loaded it aboard using the crane, down into the Blue Mermaid's cargo hold, which we can see here, all ready to carry up to about 120 tonnes of cargo, although this stack was a relatively small one, coming in at about 2.5 tonnes. Getting underway in the early hours of the 10th of April, she made good progress down the river on a beautiful sunrise. But the real hard work was to come, as when they got in the Swin, a fresh southwesterly piped up. By the time they were spotted off of Halstow, I think they'd had a pretty full-on day. Sailing into the dock at Lower Halstow is a tricky old business because there's lots of yacht moorings just off the entrance, and the prevailing wind southwest blows straight out of the dock. But even though this was the first time that Richard Titchener and his crew had visited the port, he made light work of it, beautifully sailing in and out of the yacht moorings, short tacking, dropping the foresail, raising the foresail, and getting right into the mouth of the dock before we dropped the anchor and prepared to get her alongside. Although it was a big spring tide, so plenty of water on arrival, the tide had started to fall by this point, so no time was wasted in running a line ashore and then using the dolly winch to pull the barge into the dock. The dolly winch is up on the bit heads on the bow of the barge and is the perfect tool for manoeuvring around docks and into ports just like this. Blue Mermaid's arrival at the quayside is probably the first time in 60 or 70 years that a barge has landed a cargo on this quay, which was mainly used for loading bricks that went up to London or delivery of rough stuff and mud for the brickworks, the raw materials that made the bricks. After a good night's rest, it was full bore the next day, as the kids were made to work hard for their supper, using the barge's winches to haul the planks out of the hold, with the barge's sprit acting as the crane. After a few hours' work, it was all stacked up on the quayside, and we're indebted to the hard work of the kids, the Blue Mermaid's crew, and our own volunteers for making it happen. Well done all. Next day, it was time for Blue Mermaid to head back off to Essex. So, in pleasant sunshine, but with still a very fresh southwesterly wind, she slipped her bow line and kept her stern pinned on the quay, enabling her to swing in the dock and sail away. There's plenty of windage in the barge's spritsail rig, so there's no need to set any sails with the wind up her bum, and she could just let go the stern line and breeze out of the dock. It's not long now until Ardwina sets sail from London to come back and join Edith May on the Medway at Lower Halstow, and we're indebted to the hard work of Willie, Darrell and Tom, who have been looking after the ship, for getting her ready to sail. She's all rigged up now and looking splendid, and we're aiming to leave St Catherine Docks on Monday the 22nd of April at about lunchtime. Going to head out into the river meet Edith May in front of Tower Bridge for a quick photo shoot, and then scoot off downriver where Ardwina can begin her new life on the Medway.